What happens when you believe and teach the Jesus truth without doing it in the Jesus way? Oh, believing Jesus' truth without following Jesus' way leads to a defensive life. When we teach and preach and believe the truth of Jesus without doing it in the way of Jesus, without grace, without understanding, without openness, without humility, this eventually leads to a defensive life. Because we are always now on edge. Oh man, we need to protect and preserve the truth. We need to kind of, defend ourselves, right? We're kind of always we're there, we're squaring up, waiting for that next jab from somebody else who's like, oh, Adventists are wrong, Christianity is wrong. It's not wrong to defend and preserve the truth. As a matter of fact, Peter says this, you need to be able to give an answer to the hope that you have in Jesus Christ. There's so many different things in the Bible that tells us that we need to be able to articulate the why of our faith and why we believe what we believe. That being said, when we are so caught up in teaching and believing the Jesus truth without doing it in the Jesus way, we could end up being burdened by the very truth that was intended to give us joy. Here's an illustration really quick. Imagine yourself moving into a new house. And it's top of a hill, beautiful house, and you have this amazing window. Oh my goodness, great window. And you open the window and you look in, and the view that you have is this amazing, the coast. And you have front row seats to the best views. Not to pay for this thing, no parking required. You're just there, sitting there. Sunrise, sunset, amazing views. One day, you notice a little bird dropping on the window. What do? Like, oof, bird dropping, not good. So you go to the kitchen, or wherever you have a bucket and water, get a sponge, and come and clean that thing. I said, that's perfect now. A few days later, you see wet dirt streaks because you just had rain. There was a rainstorm. There was some dirt there, and you're like, okay, I'm going to go and clean this thing again. So you go back, get your bucket and your sponge, and you come back and you clean the dirt streaks off of the window, and then you look at the views like, oh, this is nice. This is nice. Another day, one of your family friends visits your new house with their little army of little ones. And what do? They play next to the window. Get their little smudgy, dirty little fingers and all that stuff on the window. And you see it, and when they're gone, what do you see in the window? Thousands and thousands of little finger smudges all over the window. And you're just like, you just had it. You're like, that's it. That's it. You go on Amazon. You get a lifetime supply of sponges. And then you get a lifetime supply of the best buckets, top grade plastic, right? Get that. You get all of that. You stuff it in your house. And then you also, you know what? I don't want this to happen again. So you actually go and purchase a contractor to get a metal cage that prevents people from touching the window. And eventually, over time, you realize this. You have the cleanest window in North County. But something else you don't realize. You've stopped looking at the views. I believe this is what happens when we live our lives believing the truths of Jesus without doing it in the way of Jesus. Our main priority is no longer to practice our faith, but to preserve our identity. And when this happens, we also run the risk of being seen by others as unchristlike and unloving, not practicing what we preach. Like one of my friends said, right plus rude equals wrong. Because our lives say more than our lips ever will. Jesus says, I am the way and the truth and the life. And if we consider ourselves followers of Jesus, I believe God is calling us to a very specific life. Not a defensive life where we are believing the truth of Jesus without living the way of Jesus. Not an unstable life where we are living the way of Jesus without the truth of Jesus, but an abundant life. An abundant life where, watch this, we believe and teach the truth of Jesus as we follow and live the ways of Jesus. And we live and follow the ways of Jesus as we believe and teach the truth of Jesus. Is that amazing? Yeah?